Hello and welcome. I am DEJI360. A five-man panel of the Supreme Court led by Justice Uwani Abba-Aji recently dismissed the appeal filed by the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, challenging the leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly led by Martin Ameule. The Apex Court dismissed the appeal after Fubara's counsel Yusuf Ali sought to withdraw the appeal, claiming that it had been overtaken by events. In the lead judgment, the court faulted, among others, the decision by Fubara to deal with only 4 members out of 31 members of the assembly, saying it was a gross violation of the nation's 1999 constitution as amended. The Supreme Court also ordered that all actions taken by Fubara in their absence, including presenting the 2024 and 2025 budgets to just 3 lawmakers, have now been rendered null and void, ordering him to represent both budgets before the faction of the State House of Assembly led by Martin Ameule. Now, this ruling follows earlier decisions by the Federal High Court and Court of Appeal faulting Fubara's presentation of the Rivers State 800 billion naira 2024 budget before a 3-member House of Assembly led by Edison Ehie, calling it an aberration and, quote, illegality. Fubara had hinged his decision to present the 2024 budget to the Ehie faction of the House of Assembly on the grounds that the Ameule-led group had defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress and therefore ceased to be lawful members of the State Assembly. However, the lower courts ruled that he failed to provide evidence of their defection and therefore could not legally present the budget to a 4-member House, and so his case was struck out. But the latest ruling of the Supreme Court does not appear to have changed anything on the ground. The governor still does not deal with the State House of Assembly led by Martin Ameule. In fact, the state government insists, and its lawyers also insist, that the Supreme Court ruling did not recognize the Ameule-led assembly and that the ruling was only based on the 2024 budget, which lifespan now had ended, and actually informed their decision to withdraw the case. So they insist that the 3-member factional House of Assembly led by Oko Jumbo still remains the Rivers State House of Assembly. Joining me now to discuss this further is legal practitioner Libros Oshoma. Libros, thank you very much for coming on the program as always. Help us to understand this judgment now by the Supreme Court. Of course, lawyers to Governor Fubara decided to withdraw the case. I believe you must have heard one of the lawyers, that's Chief Femi Falana, who has come out to explain that, look, this case had nothing to do with the leadership of the House of Assembly, that it was literally about the budget, that's the 2024 budget, and that the Supreme Court did not dabble into the issue of the leadership of the Assembly, and that they decided to withdraw the case because, you know, the lifespan of the 2024 budget of the state had actually ended.
Yeah, thank you. Let's take the issues one after the other so that people will understand it for the benefit of our viewers and our listeners and everywhere in the world. I have consistently maintained and tried to explain this to the layman as much as I can, you know, in everyday language. This is a copy of the Constitution. The law is what the court says it is. And so, also in this book, we all know that you cannot resort to self-help. For every violation, there are penalties, except the penalties are not spelled out in the law book. I always explain with the case of stealing, murder. The penalty for murder, for example, if you kill somebody, is death. It is so in the criminal code. It is so in the penal code. But you cannot say because I saw the man committing murder and so you just kill him summarily. You must charge the man before the court because the Constitution says he is presumed innocent. And so, to that extent, it is the court that will pronounce that penalty. So in the same vein, Section 109 of the Constitution says the penalty for defection is you will lose your seat. Subsection 2 says that the Speaker of the House will be the one to give vent to that subsection 1 paragraph G. But be that as it may, the court had also gone further to say that it is the court that will give power to subsection 1 of section 109 paragraph G. And so if anybody defects, it is not in the mouth of DEJI360, it is not in the mouth of Liberals Oshoma. So also, consequently, it's also not in the mouth of Fubara or Wike to say you have lost your seat. It is the court that will make that pronouncement. It is on that grounds that the Court of Appeal said this budget you have presented was not properly presented. It is a joke taken too far. These people that you presented the budget to are not the only member. They are not the only members of the State House of Assembly. Go and present the budget to the larger State House of Assembly, because presenting it to 3 members out of 36 or so is out of 31 or 32 or so. It's a joke taken too far. So when you now say the court says go and present a budget to a larger house, you're saying that the court did not recognize those members as members of the house. So if the court did not recognize them as members of the house, who is the court asking you to go and present the budget to them? You already presented to 3 members that you have recognized in your own estimation. And the court says, no, these 3 members, presenting it to these 3 members is a joke taken too far. Go and represent it to the larger house. Consequently, what is the court telling you? The court is telling you that there are other members of the house that you did not recognize until the court decides whether they are still members of the house or not. You will continue to address them as members of the house. I am surprised sometimes that lawyers who should even know will twist it so well that they begin to, when political matters of this nature, are discussed, everybody becomes a lawyer. Everybody begins to interpret the law. Because you have lawyers also, because they are counseling that matter, they will begin to confuse the public, and then the public will be quoting them that, yes, this person said this person said that, and so he must be right. But that is not the law. Here, we do not resort to self-help in Nigeria. That is why even if you catch somebody stealing, yes, he will be arrested. He is still presumed innocent until you prove him guilty before a court of competent jurisdiction. In the same vein, those people, you said they have defected. The presumption is still that they are still members of the house.
But the argument of some of them, and
defected.
Yes, so the argument of some of them, and I think I'll still make reference to Chief Falana here. His argument is that, look, the provision is automatic, that the moment you defect from one party to the other as a member of a state house or even a member of the National Assembly, that is automatic, that you don't even need any kind of declaration at all, that you automatically lose your seat.
No, Deji, that is not true. That is not correct. That is Femi Falana's interpretation. But that is not the law. That is not what the law says. That is not what the Supreme Court had consistently interpreted. If you look at subsection 2 of section 109, to tell you that section is not automatic, this is our law, this is the Constitution. I'm reading from the Constitution. It says, the Speaker of the House of Assembly shall give effect to subsection 1 of this section. So, however, that the Speaker or a member shall first present evidence satisfactory to the House that any of the provisions of that subsection has become applicable in respect of the manner of the member. So if the section is automatic, why did the subsection now says that the Speaker shall give effect? If the section is automatic, why is it that people who defected from the National Assembly, Why are they not losing their seat? Why do somebody now need to go to court to ask the court to make a pronouncement that they vacate their seat? Other people that have defected, that the court had made pronouncements that once it is established that you defected, that you automatically lost your seat. Why did these persons go to court? If that is the position of the law, what indirectly, Chief Femi Falana, with all due respect to him, my oga and my boss, what it is saying is that if I catch somebody stealing now, then immediately, automatically, I shouldn't even need to take him to court. Automatically, I should send him to jail. That's what he's saying. And that's not the intendment. I want to go to the intendment. That is not the position of our legal jurisprudence. So our legal jurisprudence is not one that encourages self-help. So there is no provision in that law that is self-executory. It is not self-executory.
Now,
I agree Femi Falana is a lawyer to the government. Then certainly he will argue the case of his client. But when we are called to, some of us went to read law because of people like Femi Falana. Because we believe that we love the advocacy and the way they have consistently, head out, the law for the benefit of, the society. But on this one, I will beg to disagree with him. That is not the position of the law.
So what's the implication of this withdrawal of the suit now from the Supreme Court? What does it mean? Because their argument is that, look, that they decided to withdraw the case because it's a mere academic exercise, that they do not want to waste the time of the court, that it changes nothing. What exactly is the implication? Because obviously the court will still enter judgment. The court entered judgment anyway.
DG, there is a subsisting court of appeal judgment that they appealed against. So if there is a subsisting court of appeal judgment that held that their actions were illegal, and then you appeal against that judgment saying that your actions were illegal, and at the Supreme Court, you withdrew your appeal. What you are saying now is that you agree that your actions are illegal. Because that is the position of the law. Mind you, at the beginning I said, the law is what the court says it is.
It is.
The court had said that your action by presenting the budget to 3 members are illegal. So you went on appeal to say, no, it is not illegal. Superior Court holds that it is not illegal. And at the Supreme Court, you withdrew that request, saying because you have illegally spent the money, you have illegally appropriated the money, and so to that extent, it's an exercise of futility, whether the court says it is. And so you withdrew that your request. I'm using the word, the everyday word now, so that the man on the street will understand me. You don't withdrew. So if you withdrew that your request to hold that the action is not illegal, what is remaining? That Court of Appeal decision that your action is illegal. Does that cure the fact that that action is illegal? The answer is no. You have also added illegality to the previous illegality by passing the 2025 budget in the same manner, using the same method. And so you have said, well, we have illegally spent the previous money. There's nothing that can be done about it. For me, it is mark of executive arrogance, executive recklessness, executive rascality. And so you said, look, there's nothing anybody can do about it. So we withdraw the appeal. Go to hell. Do whatever you can do. We have done it again in 2015. You go to court. By 2016, they will come again and say, we will withdraw the appeal. It is, it is a time wastage because we have spent the money. And if tomorrow the same House of Assembly now sits down to impeach the same governor, we will look for who to blame. We will say government is manipulating and all of that. The question now, apart from the issue of budget, what were the other issues that the Court of Appeal decided? That judgment of the Court of Appeal is the subsisting judgment on that matter today. What were the other issues that the Court of Appeal decided? Are those issues be appealed? The answer is no. So what are we talking about? Why is it that in Nigeria, when we feel somebody is the weaker one, we just support the person blindly, irrespective of what they do or what they have done? What we are doing now, we are turning the law upside down because some persons want to blindly support what Governor Fubara is
but
doing
then in this case,
in
this case, it's lawyers.
Sorry,
in this case, it's lawyers and very senior lawyers who are helping to turn the law upside down.
My fear, DG, is that tomorrow, if care is not taken, one man in some states can just sit down as the only member of House of Assembly and say that, and the governor will say, yes, he's the only member. He passes the budget, he will take decision as House of Assembly, and they will tell the rest of us, go to hell. After all, you supported the impunity when it was in Rivers State. And that is my danger. That's the danger of supporting this, setting a very bad precedent. Because, sorry, some persons have argued that according to Justice Mohammed Lawal Uwais, a former Chief Justice of the Federation, that you do not need to comply with the provisions of Section 91 that insists that the members of the State House of Assembly must not be more than 25 at every given time. That once member seats are declared vacant. I agree with the judgment, but the proviso here is that it is until the court declares those seats vacant. It is until the court declares those seats vacant, then you can now say what you have in Rivers State is the court has declared the seat of 27 lawmakers vacant. So the only remaining lawmakers are 3. So INEC need to conduct election into those 27 seats. Until that is done, the 3 lawmakers will conduct the business of the House. That is the implication of that judgment or a waste judgment that they keep referring to. But here, a court has not made a pronouncement. If that's the case, so why are they in court?
You're right.
So now what they are saying is that it is for the lawmakers to go and prove that they have not lost their seat. It is not for the people who are alleging them. For the first time in our law, somebody is telling me that it is not he who asserts that must prove. That once they say, excuse me, once there's an allegation against you, then there is no proof. And that once there's that allegation, then there shouldn't be any proof. The man who asserts should not prove. It is for you now to go and defend yourself. That now, since somebody has said, oh, there is video evidence, these people address press conference and that they have defected. And so immediately, what that means is that nobody should take them to court. Court should not make a pronouncement on it. That is not the law. That is not the law. You still need, that is why the court is asking, show me evidence of defection. What is the register? Apart from addressing what are the processes, what are the procedures for establishing registration of a party and defection from a party? The court will look into all of this. But if you say the self-executory, that the court does not need to make a pronouncement, then why is the court looking into the process of defection?
Liberals, I think we'll just have to leave it there.
Turning law upside down for the benefit
Thank you
clients.
so much for this incisive elucidation. I want to appreciate you for coming on the program. As always, thanks a lot for your time.
Always my pleasure. Always my pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Opinions are free. Facts are sacred. But truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.